video is a short video. It'll be my last video. Like father, like son. It's about repetition, being healed versus being sealed. It is about the illusion. Martial, marital, pharaoh. Okay, what is fair? To kind of clarify this in terms of reproduction, because people are a bunch of animals who don't have the heart to do the right thing, right, left, middle, everybody outside the divine order, everybody else. They don't have the heart to do the right thing, with the exception of maybe my father. There's certainly people that mean more well than others, but that's like they're all running a train on a kid, and some of them feel more bad than others. So what? They don't deserve to go to hell. They're unrepentant sinners. It's that simple. You're an idiot if you think that's unfair. You're an idiot if you think it's not that simple. The first idea I want to go over is the obvious idea about the Bible. The people that gave you the Bible and that allowed these, your other adverse philosophies to exist are the people that killed Jesus. Open and shut. Boom. The West is based on the Roman foundation. These guys mocked, spit, slapped, put a crown of thorns on Jesus, and killed him. Then they said, it's our story to tell, and the rest is obvious as hell. Okay, you know them by their works. They've been acting like bitches ever since. Obviously, there's a certain group of Jews who dominate the other Jews in today's time, right? They made Israel, right? Did the Jews stop them from making the cruel state of Israel? So who dominates the Jewish people in general? Evil people. Open and shut. They're done. Okay? Whites, Jews, automatically done. The Asians lack the heart to kind of fall together and support me in what I'm doing, okay? And to obey. Their martial arts systems, they obey a great many people. Some of them dark-skinned people. There's enough evidence for them to see that I'm right. Some of them have written books that flat out give the credit to Africa, but yet when I come, none of them obey. They are like a disloyal bride, right? And I'm the man of the house that they refuse to obey. Disloyal bride and disloyal children, right? They're in the spirit of the harlot. They too are done. We can go group through group. It's not necessary. You can figure it out from there. The rest of them pretty much serve these guys as token minorities and as servants and so on and so forth. No servant can be greater. They choose to roll with them. They're going down during their ship, going down instead of taking off with me. Letting the angel guide them to heaven. Right? One more needs to be said. So it's the repetition. This is a key idea. The repetition. This is why I have no sympathy in a sense for attractive women. The unattractive women should come together and kind of encourage the attractive women to present themselves to me. They have no problem throwing themselves at the Johns on the street when there are 34, 36 million sex workers in the world, or however many there are. They have no problem doing that. They have no problem throwing themselves at rich men in the bar. Poor black women in the ghetto have no problem throwing themselves at scum and drug dealers and whatnot. No problem. No problem dressing like sluts, trying to provoke a response from the wealthy in society. But when it comes to the one man on the planet doing God's work, not a single attractive woman has the heart to present herself to him in a way that is unmistakable. There is no, I repeat, no excuse for that. Not their fake New Age balanced good and evil philosophy can account for it. There is no excuse for their beta cowardice. I used a very priceless example of a craftsman, just like Axe, the Axe quote I talk about, the silversmith, Demetrius, and so on. The story of Demetrius and Diana and Artemis, right? Diana is compared to Artemis, so basically been merged and conflated and whatever you want to call it. Okay. Basically, the craftsmen are some of the biggest enemies of all, if not the biggest. And it is like not being able to tell the difference between the champion marching to war in the true spirit of God and a craftsman who's a globalist who has no loyalty to morality, much less, or even your people, rather. And you can't tell the difference. How are you waving, wave, right? Who are you waving at? You can't tell the difference between the craftsman who's stabbing you in the back, who's in this lazy kind of conformist energy, hi guys, and the champion in the Lord's army from Judah, from Cush and Judah, Nahum, Cush and Egypt had a strength that was boundless. Okay, Psalms, King David says, Cush will obey the Lord. Okay, hey, come together, the reproductive cycle. Cush and Judah together, okay? And the last Jew that God favors, loyal to God, one of the reasons why they started trying to kill Jesus, because he pointed out that Elijah basically said the same thing as he is. If you're not loyal to God, to hell with you. He didn't hesitate to kill the prophets of Baal. He doesn't care if they're Jew or Gentile. If you're not loyal to God, you are not a true Jew. You are of the synagogue of Satan. Israel was established by the synagogue of Satan. The people who talk bad about Israel outside the divine order are also part of the synagogue of Satan. You think there's one group of people like, hi guys, you're an idiot. Very straightforward. Healed and sealed are connected. if you don't work on your mind, body, soul, and spirit and cultivate the heart of a warrior, every generation, what happens? Do you magically one day use technology and get to overcome the guy who actually did, and magically God recognizes it? No. You cultivated your cowardice bitch for the wrong reasons. You avoided manning up and taking on the warrior spirit of God. It says in Exodus flat out, the Lord thy God is a warrior. In Jeremiah, the Lord is with me like a mighty warrior. The Psalms, root and offspring of David. David goes on and on and on and on about how God is a warrior who protects him spiritually. Okay? He goes on and on and on. The city of Zion, the city of David was Zion. It's the first thing they referenced it. After that, a bunch of bitches took over or something. What they're truly talking about is the city of David, which he won through warfare. It was the war spirit. And he said, let those who oppose him be called lame and blind, because they said David was too lame and blind to take the city. He took it and said, you're lame and blind. These people are too lame and blind to beat me when they had a chance. Okay? And they sat there acting like bitches, trying to do everything they could to discourage me. They failed. Their timing was appalling. I can cite Master Kick, Master Heel Show. I don't need to cite anyone else. I don't need to cite the fucking Bible. Okay? The bottom line is I am the fucking gate. I'm the only one truly loyal to God, and I'm the mighty warrior on this fucking planet. Everyone else is beta. They're peasant. Destiny. Days. Ant. E. That is their destiny. They don't stand with me. They're in a daze. They're in a trance. They're sick. A magic spell, being dizzy like a spell, also writing spell, sealed and healed, rhyme and reason, pun, pan, magic spell. Okay, we can go on and on. Phoenicians, phonetics. Okay, the lexicon and all these cute words to describe the different ways you can manipulate and arrange letters, right? Marshal the letters with a thong on versus marshaling the spirit of God. And I have to explain it to you the way thong people do in their secret society, beta pussy ass societies. Because you don't have any fucking heart. It's that simple. Okay? Healed and sealed. Illusion starts with ill for a reason. So the repetition, again, I tell you, females, are they so stupid that they can't tell the difference between the champion marching out in the true spirit of God after decades of the repetition of the spirit of God, caused to stumble only because the entire world is astray and I'm the only one doing the right thing in minor ways that mean nothing. Oh, little slips in my video. Hey, you contradicted. You made this mistake. When they were drugging you, you made this claim. Bottom line is, I am the Son of God. I am who I am. You can go around the planet and interview everybody on the planet if you had the time. None of them have any reason to even come anywhere near as close to my claim. Not a single person on the planet. Yet billions of them claim to be loyal to God and religious. Almost all of them claim to be either spiritual or religious. But not a single one of them could demonstrate more spiritual power or have a more compelling argument as to why God chose them. I am the fucking gatekeeper. I am the truth. They live by lies and deception, scriptures they don't understand, or they do and they twist them for their demonic pleasure because they never grew up. They never matured. Morals, right? Why do you think your parents spank you? You shouldn't do that because part of growing up is having the moral toughness. You damn weaklings, you damn weaklings. Shame on you. Keeping me all alone and doing God's work while you all act like animals. There are dogs and monkeys that are more reasonable than you. Truly I tell you, God is more likely to redeem a fucking ant or a dog than any of you. Because you did not obey. You acted like bitches. You're like, please, I want to enjoy my pedophile energy from the corporations. I want to enjoy Disneyland. You acted like little kids with lollipops getting fucked in the ass so you can have another lick of your lollipop. You acted like bitches and you are still acting this way. There is no excuse for that. So when it is finally sealed, your masters will mock you and laugh at you. Who are you? If you claim to be a spiritual person, they should put a crown of thorns on your head and give you a cape. And they should fuck you in the fucking ass. Because that's all you are. A jackass waiting to get jacked. You are not a sabotage hero being abused by them at that point. You are a sick fuck mocking God pretending to be spiritual. There is no excuse for that kind of puss. Everyone after I'm gone should be an agnostic. Boom. You have no loyalty to God. What are you doing? You condemn yourself. Just because I'm gone doesn't mean that God's not getting mad at how you act. It could very well be that the world doesn't last 100 years after I die because how you treated me and the way you act like bitches on the way out. I am the one who shuts the gate. One can argue there has never been a more holy man in human history than myself. Think about it. I'll remove myself from this thing and fly above and look down at myself. When I look at the history of humanity, was a man in the story who told you, who in the story it would suggest, and the masses of people took it as, take the abuse, a greater man. What did he do? And it's like saying the caveman, he's a more primitive version of me. How could he be greater? It is respectable if he was completely concerned with the truth. That is respectable. But he didn't masterfully, as a flesh-based life, as a flesh life form, as a spirit-based life form in the flesh, he didn't masterfully convey martial arts as I have. There's never been a greater martial arts. There never will be. That's done. All the racist guys can suck a dick. They can go suck a racist white dick in the pen and pretend it makes them tough. That is more of a compelling argument than any argument they will ever have and any argument they ever had. That's done. Your flesh, as you judge, you've been fucking judged a bitch who has to lie like your pathetic forefathers, scrambling with your eugenic thongs on, sucking a sexual sadist dick. That is the glory of your flesh. It is waste products. You shed your skin for a reason because God doesn't give a fuck about it, and neither does any decent warrior worth a note. You train your daughters to marry based on flesh. You may as well train them to marry based on how big of a shit one can take. How despicable you are. Waste products. Embracing their toilets. Sickening. Despicable. You tell your daughter, shun him, shun him. That just makes my side. No, there's no words for how much God despises you for teaching your daughters to suck a pedophile dick to survive instead of man up and women up. Many a samurai woman stabbed herself in the gut and killed herself for far less than you have betrayed me. You people are so fucking despicable. Peasants. Peasants playing warrior. You are peasants. You do not live by warrior principles. You are acting. You are role-playing. They even call it the theater of the war. The people who you take orders from call it the theater of war because they know you are a pedophile's bitch and not a warrior. They know that. Why don't you? Why doesn't your goofy scatterbrained bitch? Because you are sick. And if you're not naturally healed, you cannot be healed. No sick tree can heal people in the true spirit of God. You've surrendered your children because you're too sick to do the right thing, to go suck sickos off, to do whatever they say. If they say you must suck a goat to survive, they're going to do it. As soon as you put something before God, they got you. Oh, you value your kid. You know, they'll have you kill 1 million kids to save your kid. And if you reach 1 million, you say, I can't do this anymore. How stupid were you to start in the first place? Either way, how stupid were you? You're fools who leave yourself at the complete mercy of sniveling pedophiles. You are not blameless. You are not me. You are the children of craftsmen that God hates. Demetrius, Imhotep type of bitches that God hates. Like the harlot that led King Solomon astray in one of these stories that God hates. God hates this idea, whether the person existed or not. And you people live the idea, so it doesn't matter if the story is true. The story is true in all of you. You live like dogs, like wolves, like serpents. You live like bitches. Fucking cowards. I tell you the truth, if I had a child and he was anything like any of you, if he was twice as better, twice as good as the best one of you, I would slit his throat and say, you're a fucking coward, and throw him in the gutter where he belongs. Shame on you.